Hello everyone. In this video, we learn the program related to multiple catch block and finally block. So first of all, we learn what is try block. A try block contains the code that might throw an exception. Try block contains the code that might throw an exception. If an exception occurs in the try block, then the control is transferred to the catch block. Now coming to catch block. The catch block handle the exception thrown by the try block by printing a message. You can have multiple catch blocks to handle different types of exceptions. So for one try block, we can have more than one catch block. For one try block, we can have more than one catch block. Now coming to finally block. The finally block contains the code that is always executed after the try block and the catch block. So first we write the try block, then catch block, after that finally block. So finally block will be written after the catch block. So try block, catch block, then we write the finally block. So the finally block contains the code that will always execute after the try block and after the try block and the catch block, regardless of whether an exception was thrown or caught. Regardless of whether an exception was thrown or caught. So nothing but the statement in the finally block must be executed. The finally block contains the statement which must be executed irrespective of exception raised by the try block. Now coming to multiple catch blocks. So for every try block, we can have more than one catch block. If a try block having multiple catch block, then the statement in the catch block which contains the exception that matches the exception raised by the try block will be executed. So if we have multiple catch blocks, then the statement in the catch block which contains the exception that matches the exception raised by the try block must be executed. See here, if we are having multiple catch blocks, then we check the catch block that contains the exception which matches the try block exception. If there is a catch block that contains the exception raised by the try block, then the statement in the catch block will be executed and the remaining catch blocks will be skipped. Nothing but the matching catch block, the statement in the matching catch block will be executed and the remaining catch blocks will be skipped. Now we see the program. So see here, so in this program, we are having one try block, multiple catch blocks, and a finally block. So for multiple catch blocks and for finally block, for multiple catch blocks and for finally block, we can write this program. So see here, class name is finally block. Main method, publish static void main string arguments. Here we are defining an array with name A that contains two elements. So in index 0, we have the element 5 and index 1, we have the element 10. And we are defining a variable with name B, which has the value 0. See the try block here. In try block, we are finding a variable name with X, which has the data type integer. So X is equal to A of 2 divided by B minus A of 1. A of 2 is nothing but array name A that contains the element at index 2. A of 1 means array A that contains the element at index 1. So see here, this array is containing two indexes. This array is containing two indexes, namely index 0 and index 1. In index 0, we have the value 5 In index 0, we have the value 5, and in index 1, we have the value 10. So, but here we are asking the element at index 2, which is not in this array. Here we are asking the element at index 2, which is not defined in this array, small a. So the statement raises the exception. Whenever exception is raised by the try block, the statement in the catch block will be executed. Now see here, we are finding more than one catch block. If there are multiple catch blocks, then we will check the catch block that contains the exception which matches the try block exception. If there is a catch block that contains the exception raised by the try block, then the statement in the matching catch block will be executed, and the remaining catch blocks will be skipped. Now see here, the try block is try block throwing exception, namely array index out of bounds exception. So the try block raised the exception, namely so see here, the try block raised the exception, namely array index out of bounds. Now we will execute the statement in the catch block that contains the array index out of bounds exception. So see here, coming to first catch block, it contains the exception, namely arithmetic exception. So first catch block has a arithmetic exception. But the exception raised by the try block is array index out of bounds exception. So catch block has a arithmetic exception. Try block has raised array index out of bounds exception. Both are not matching here. This one is arithmetic exception, and the exception raised by the try block is array index out of bounds exception. So both are not matched here. So we can skip this catch block. Now coming to second catch block. See here, the second catch block is containing exception, namely array index out of bounds exception, which is matching the exception raised by the try block, namely array index out of bounds exception. So second catch block is containing array index out of bounds exception, and the exception raised by the try block is array index out of bounds exception. So both are matching here. So both exceptions are both are matching here. So the statement in the second catch block, namely array index error. So this statement will be executed. Now coming to third catch block. So we have already find the catch block that contains the exception which matched with the try block exception. So we can skip this catch block. Skip this catch block. Now coming to finally block. So finally block means it contains the code that must be executed irrespective of exception. So whatever code we written in the finally block, the code must be executed. Now see here, finally block, it has a variable name called as y, which is an integer. So y is equal to a of 1 divided by a of 0. So a of 1 means array A, which has an element at index 1. A of 0 means array A, which has the element at index 0. So a of 1 is 10. A of 0 is 5. So 10 divided by 5, we get value 2. So y value is 2. System.out.println, value of y is equal to 2. So finally block, in finally block, we get the output, nothing but value of y is equal to 2. So finally, we get two outputs, namely array index error. which is the statement in the matching catch block, which is the statement in the catch block that contains the exception which match with the exception raised by the try block. And secondly, statement in the finally block, that is value of y is equal to 2. So this is the program related to multiple catch blocks and also for finally block. So in this program, we find multiple catch blocks and also finally block. So for finally block and for multiple catch blocks, you can write this program. Thank you.